Thursday, February 19th, 2026, AGNDD IntelliReport topic. The disturbing rise of Clavicular, how a looksmaxxer turned his horror story into fame. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this partially AI-generated article-based video. The disturbing rise of Clavicular, how a looksmaxxer turned his horror story into fame. His gonzo argot of mogging and gesture-maxing masks a malign chauvinist philosophy, and his audience keeps growing. L. Hunt, The Guardian, Wednesday, February 18, 2026, 08:15 EST. How's your gesture-maxing game? Have you been brutally frame-mogged lately? If you've been finding this kind of online discourse even more impenetrable than usual, a 20-year-old content creator calling himself Clavicular is probably to blame. Born Braden Peters, Clavicular is a manosphere-adjacent influencer who has recently broken containment for a string of high-profile controversies, including live-streaming himself apparently running over a pedestrian with his Tesla Cybertruck and being filmed chanting the lyrics to Kanye West's Heil Hitler in a nightclub with the self-styled misogynist influencer Andrew Tate and the white nationalist commentator Nick Fuentes. Before taking up with what some feel are among the worst men alive, Clavicular was known only as a looksmaxxer, a young man intent on optimizing his physical attractiveness by frequently extreme measures, such as steroids, surgery, and taking a hammer to his jaw. Yet, Clavicular's gonzo live streams and absurd lingo have seen him escape his subcultural silo, landing him a modeling gig at New York Fashion Week and a profile in the New York Times. So where has he come from? And what does his rise mean for humanity? 1. He's the internet's most famous looksmaxxer. Peters came to prominence last year on the streaming platform Kick, like Twitch but more laissez-faire with content moderation, where he now has nearly 180,000 followers. That's dwarfed by his audience on TikTok, which at time of writing is more than 760,000. Clavicular's niche is looksmaxxing, a practice of physical self-optimization increasingly popular among young men. His screen name refers to the collarbone, which is prized within that online community. Having achieved a disquieting transformation himself, Peters first gained a following for posting about the process behind his hard-won face and physique and the rewards he has allegedly reaped with women. For a fee, Peters will also coach individuals on how to ascend, as he puts it, and become more handsome themselves, though lately his focus has shifted from looksmaxxing specific content to streaming great stretches of his day-to-day life. Peters earned more than $100,000, 74,000 pounds, from Kick last month alone. His most recent upload to the platform is more than 9 hours long. 2. There's very little he won't do to look good. Peters is notorious for the extreme lengths by which he claims to have achieved his chiseled appearance. By his own account, he is infertile as a result of years of steroid abuse and uses methamphetamine to suppress his appetite. It's really not as bad as people think, he told another Kick streamer last October. According to the New York Times, Peters began looksmaxxing at 14, ordering testosterone and fat dissolvers on the internet and refining his vision by altering pictures of himself using Photoshop. His parents gave up trying to intervene, he said, when they realized there was nothing that they could do to stop my ascension. He was subsequently expelled from college for possessing testosterone. These days, Peters' goals extend to double jaw surgery. For greater facial harmony on a budget, he has endorsed smashing facial bones with a hammer, or, if you are really in hard-maxing mode, your fist. Bone smashing is legit, Peters said in December in conversation with the popular conservative podcaster Michael Knowles. It should go without saying that medical experts strongly advise against this. 3. But it's an ugly business. Having begun with incels, self-described involuntary celibates, who see conventional attractiveness as a claim on women, looksmaxxing is considered a subculture within the online manosphere, defined by its hostility to feminism and belief in male supremacy. In its pseudoscientific calculations and striving towards a physical ideal based in whiteness, looksmaxxing has also been criticized for reviving eugenic beauty standards. Peters has dismissed these accusations of racism as dumb and defended his repeated use of the N-word as not a racist thing. A Rolling Stone writer who paid to access Clavicular's online academy reported finding a godly coloring routine for non-white looksmaxxers who got the short end of the phenotype stick. In the advice on translating physical attractiveness into sexual success, meanwhile, women are referred to as targets, slayables, or foids, female humanoids, while followers, the clan, are advised to inch closer until your erection is her problem or guide her hand. Asked to comment on whether these techniques constituted sexual coercion, Peters responded, "Who the fuck is Rolling Stone magazine, LOL?" 4. He hates politics, but is buddies with Andrew Tate. Peters claims to be apolitical, stating that he will endorse whichever party gives him the fattest bag. That's not to say he doesn't have opinions. On the political commentator Michael Knowles' podcast, Clavicular said he would vote for Democrat Gavin Newsom over U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance because the latter was ugly or subhuman with a recessed side profile. In the same interview, Peters described actor Sydney Sweeney as malformed with eyes of doom. While some have described Peters' worldview as standard incel nihilism, he doesn't seem all that invested in the aims of the manosphere. Peters' affiliation with Tate, the misogynistic influencer accused of sex trafficking who denies wrongdoing, and Fuentes, an avowed white nationalist, seems motivated by a shared love of shock value and online infamy rather than a mutual or coherent ideology. On the viral video showing Peters with Fuentes, Andrew Tate, and his brother Tristan Tate, chanting along to Heil Hitler in a Miami nightclub, Peters defended it as just a song. 5. The vernacular is key. Clavicular's ridiculousness can make it hard to take him seriously, with his malign influence masked by his idiosyncratic argot.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intelli Report, dear viewers. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.